You are welcome to this channel. Don't forget to like, make sure you subscribe, and please keep sharing our stuff here in the news. Sowore reacts after Yemi Osinbajo said Nigeria's legal profession is crumbling under corruption. Nigerian activist and candidate of the African Action Congress (AAC) in the 2023 presidential election, Omoyele Sowore, has reacted to the statement that was made by former Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo about legal profession in Nigeria. In the report that was published by Punch, Yemi Osinbajo stated that Nigeria's legal profession is crumbling under corruption. He said justice is at risk. However, Omoyele Sowore has now reacted after the report surfaced online. In a post that he shared on his official X handle, he said, "It is interesting that Yemi Osinbajo suddenly remembers that things are bad after being in office for 8 years." Omoyele Sowore also explained how the administration of Muhammadu Buhari operated while in office. Here is what Omoyele Sowore wrote on his official X handle. Professor Yemi Osinbajo was Muhammadu Buhari's vice president for 8 years. Under their watch, DSS violated court orders, and their Attorney General, Abubakar Malami SAN, was one of the worst human beings ever to occupy that office. Interestingly, this guy suddenly remembered that things are bad after they leave the office. Professor Yemi Osinbajo was Muhammad Buhari's VP for 8 years under the watch. DSS violated court orders, and the Attorney General, Abubakar Malami, was one of the worst human beings ever to occupy that office. Buhari even attended an at NIG Bar Association Conference, Nigerian Bar Association Conference, and declared they couldn't have the rule of law for the sake of national security, so they all clapped. But they could count on Nigerians to have forgotten. After all, they have been so pulverized, they remember nothing. Not to forget that Professor Yemi Osinbajo was at official Abat Tinubu's Attorney General in Lagos while they did as they wish for 8 years. Revolution now. And those are some of the submissions of Omoyele Sowore. And then he was just commenting because the former vice president to President Muhammadu Buhari, that is Professor Yemi Osinbajo, said justice is at risk, and that he raised alarm, saying Nigeria's legal profession crumbling under corruption. Actually, Omoyele Sowore is an activist, and what he was trying to, point out is the singular fact that when people go before equity, they've forgotten that they are supposed to go with clean hands. That when Osinbajo was in power, he has the opportunity to rewrite every wrong. And as regards the law, he happens to be a professor of law. He can always do one or two things as regards that area. But it's so unfortunate that he did not, use his expertise and his experience with academic qualification to assist his principal, the Muhammadu Buhari, who could prevail on the then Justice Minister and the Attorney General, Abubakar Malami, such that the man would do the needful. But it's so unfortunate because in our clime, we have a presidential system of government in which the vice president is just seen as an extra tire. If there is no reason for it to be placed when there is no deflation of tire or any problem with the tire, it will just remain even in the cubicle. If it is like that, it can be like that for 8 solid years. And that was the situation that Yemi Osinbajo as the vice president has found himself. But Omoyele Sowore is not willing to exonerate him because his belief is that he was also Attorney General to President Tinubu when he was the governor of Lagos State, then from 1999 to 2003 and 7. His belief is that even the law of Lagos State, I think that Osinbajo had to do something there too, but Sowore accused him or alleged that while he was the Attorney General in Lagos State, he and President Tinubu, now then Governor Tinubu, did as they wish even for 8 years. And he's insinuating the same thing, that they did as they wish for another 8 years with President Muhammadu Buhari. So his belief is that Professor Yemi Osinbajo is only crying foul, after the whole game has finished. He's only campaigning after election. And I think there is need for us as people to really think. Let's see the sense in what Omoyele is trying to tell us. When you have an opportunity in life, there is need for you to write your name in the sand of time. You use the opportunities you have properly very well, because every position seems to be transient. No condition, as they used to say, is permanent. And now that Professor Yemi Osinbajo is no more in power, it seems as if he's now seeing properly. Well, there is the general saying that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Maybe the enjoyment that came with the office of the vice president, especially the one that has nothing to do and is lounging, and that is seen as an extra tire in the presidential system, had blindfolded or reduced, the thinking and the ability or the proactiveness of the then vice president, Professor Yemi, to please, not saying that to ridicule the man or to belittle him. I'm just trying to explain that sometimes the comfort of the atmosphere and the position sometimes might, affect the thinking and the proactiveness of somebody who seems to be, careless. So Sowore is pointing at the fact that Professor Yemi Osinbajo would have done things differently if he had, taken his time to seize the moment, the opportunity he has for 8 years. But now that he's now saying that the justice system is having problem, Sowore is trying to help us understand that he's not in the position to say so, because when he has the opportunity, he did not take any required action. Then it is good for one, yes, to learn from this kind of situation, and all the time that when the opportunity comes, yes, we should seize it, especially for our country. Very, very important. And on the other hand too, Sowore's, action or his criticism of the vice president, of course, is welcome. And that is the beauty of democracy. Because since the man said that, Nigeria's legal profession is crumbling under corruption, Sowore took a swipe on Malami, because the man was busy taking Sowore to court, in and out of court during their time. And of course, I know Sowore will not forget such a man. But generally speaking, I think people that are given a responsibility at the corridor of power should make sure that they use it judiciously. They do what they are given rightly, so that posterity can, remember them for good and pray for them. Whatever is given for anybody to do, we have lesson to learn from this. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just keep liking and make sure you share.